his skill set, broaden his understanding of the world, and lead all the way through 12th grade to being special.
Where are we right now?
Yeah, so right now we at PS 44, right in between troop between Madison and Monroe. This is actually the school I used to go to for elementary. That's where I came from before I into Eagle. Coming into Eagle right in the 6th grade, I was actually known for basketball because coming from here I was like a star. And I got to Eagle as different coaches did that already knew me. So when I came in, you know, you come into an environment that, oh, you Jordan. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, all right. A lot of educators that I think had an impact on my life. To name a few, I'll start like Miss Collimo. That was one of the first educators I saw. She's like a mother to me now. You got like Mr. O and Mr. Pagan. Just being like father figures for most of us that don't have father figures within our household. Mr. Pagan took us on trips to see like the Broadway show. There's a lot of young men that never been where I've never seen a play. And for him to take us out and then to dedicate his time outside of school to take us on that trip, I think that meant a lot. I live by the quote that says, it's hard to dream and become something that you've never seen. So being able to see educators strive and make steps to being things that we want to be helps us understand that it is possible to become more than statistic. I think as young men, we come from a community that historically has gone unheard. And I don't think a youth should be the only time the voice of our community is heard, and the funeral should not be the only time our community comes together. So to dead this silence and understand the importance that lies in your voice.
We all look good tonight. We look like pastors, ministers, and deacons. All right, so good morning, Mr. Meade, Ms. Bringley, Ms. Strauss, Mr. Hamilton, Mr. E, teachers, staff members, parents, and my Eagle brothers. It feels great to welcome you all to our 2019 graduation as one of the 2 salutatorians alongside Abdul-Ba of Eagle Academy for Young Men too. First, let me say thank you to all of you who played a vital role in helping to shape and mold all of us young men into the men we stand before you today as. Thank you to the principals, the assistant principals, educators, administrators, lunchroom staff, and custodians. Thank you. However, I would be remiss if I did not thank my family and parents. It is imperative that we always remember to thank our loved ones and not take their efforts for granted. We did not make it thus far without them, and we will not make it to where we want to go without others. Mom, thank you for always being you.
I love you!
It is because I always saw you welcome people with open arms, that I never hold grudges and always show others love. You taught your baby boy that it's easier to love than to hate. I know I'm getting older now and will be in a few more relationships. But I want you to know and never forget that you'll always be my baby. Rocky, thank you for being a great father figure within my life. It's already a difficult responsibility to raise your own child, but to raise someone else's is a double responsibility. The life lessons you imparted to me is well received, even when you think they aren't. You taught me things like every man should have 2 suits, one navy blue and one black. You taught me as a scholar athlete is bigger than basketball. Thank God I didn't have to rely on basketball to get to college. You taught me that I can achieve anything I set my mind to as long as I stay focused. Most importantly, you taught me how I ought to interact with law enforcement, a talk that needs to be held in all households, especially when as a community, it is not what we say or do, but it is our skin that people fear. You raised me as if I am your own child, and the reality is that you did not have to, but you did. For that, I am more than grateful for your presence and wisdom that you often share with me. To my dad, thank you for being my dad. Although from a distance, you continue to love, support, and encourage me. The many phone calls and various visits mean more than you will ever know. Thank you for not allowing time and distance to prohibit you from being a father. Today is a beautiful day, and it warms my heart to see my brothers smiling. Because a month or two ago during the college process, we weren't. And I found that. One thing we all can agree on is that the college process was not easy. Of course, the process was different for each of us, but the stress was a common denominator. There were plenty of nights where we felt like crying, and perhaps we did. I'm not afraid to say I most definitely did. However, we kept pushing through it, and today those smiles you see on our faces shows the victory we acclaimed over the process we feel today. God is good, and all the time, amen. As difficult as the college process was, I have to admit, I dropped the ball. And I lost a full ride scholarship to Syracuse University. Can any of you relate to the expression, counting your eggs before they hatched? Things backfired for me. It was painful, and I have to make sure I never experienced that twice. Just days before, I was being congratulated on my acceptance to Syracuse. Everything just felt so right getting into my dream school. At the time, all I had was an acceptance letter that read, "Congratulations, you are admitted to Syracuse University, SI Newhouse, School of Public Communications, undecided through HEOP." I thought that was all I needed. You get accepted and wait until August to attend class. But I thought wrong. That's not how the process works. I needed to confirm my attendance by completing an acceptance admission form on the Syracuse portal entitled My Slice. I foolishly waited 3 days before commitment date to do so. However, when I logged onto the portal, it was closed. My heart dropped. I looked back at my acceptance letter and reread the sentence. Submit the online admission acceptance form no later than May 1st. It never occurred to me that the Higher Educational Opportunity Program at Syracuse University had limited enrollment, where students were admitted on a first come, first served basis. The form said, your prompt completion of the admission acceptance form will ensure your place in HEOP, and we're not able to provide an opening to students who delayed their submission of the admission acceptance form. Basically, what that told me was that I lost a $74,000 yearly scholarship, which will add up to nearly $300,000 in the 4 years that I'll be attending. I had maintained a 90+ grade point average all through junior high school and high school, only to find myself without a financial scholarship. Clearly, I had dropped the ball, and I felt like a failure. What's worse is that I failed to meet the expectations of those around me, nonetheless the expectations I held of myself. But the story does not stop there. I refused to accept that as my reality. The same day that I lost the scholarship, I called everyone I knew that had powerful relationships with Syracuse. Those who I thought could change the course of my destiny. I called Mr. Banks, Mr. Ruff, my coordinator and Jesus Leaders, 2 alumni twins that live in my building, a young lady that's currently an undergraduate at Syracuse, and many, many more. I literally called everyone I thought could assist me. That night before leaving school, I remember sitting in the office with Ms. Maddox, and she told me to keep your fingers crossed. God has a plan. Miraculously, the next morning, Mr. Craig Tucker, the president of the HEOP program, called me and said, run, not walk to a computer to fill out the missing application. For the entire time, Mr. Tucker stayed on the phone with me and guided me through the process until I submitted it. I am both greatly relieved and bursting with pride to say that I'll be attending Syracuse University. The same boiling water that hardens the potato softens the egg. It's all about what you're made of. Being men of color coming from the environments we're raised in, we're going to encounter a lot of falls, but we must master the art of bouncing back. Every now and then we may fall or even be knocked down, but don't ever count yourself out, because eagles not only rise, we soar. I tell my story mainly to point out 3 valuable lessons that I've learned. First, as young men, we must grab at every opportunity when it first comes our way, without hesitation. In a world where potential is universal, but opportunity is not, we must always take advantage of the good that comes our way. Secondly, there is no wealth greater than being rich in resources. One of the main reasons why I'm attending Syracuse University this fall is because of the relationships I established over the years. The saying goes, what gets your foot into the door is not about the space and the threshold, it's about who opens the door for you. For us, as a whole, we all know excellence is expected, but failure is too. I just don't expect you to succumb to failure, but to get up. Remember my story and avoid it at all costs. Yes, struggle builds character to amplify the voice of our community that has historically gone unheard. A eulogy should not be the only time the voice of our community is heard, and a funeral surely should not be the only time our community comes together. No small feat, but we are up to the challenge. I know there have been many days where we all question, why am I even still in Eagle? Or I need to get out of Eagle. But one thing I can say for certain is that we never question the relationships we build with one another. That's one of the main reasons most of us here today stayed. We may be heading down different avenues after today, but we will forever be a community of brothers. Ultimately, life is not only about the scholarship won, lost, and won again. It's about the collective accomplishments we earn for our community. I firmly believe that when we are blessed, we are obligated to bless others. Finishing high school is but one race in life. So as Nipsey Hussle stated, the marathon continues. I encourage you, my Eagle brothers, to always reach for the top because the bottom is crowded. Thank you.